Oh God, almost dropped my camera there. Hey guys, this is Sophia and today I'm here with another ab challenge. I'm going to be doing Chloe Ting's 11 abs in 35 days. So my previous challenge, which if you haven't seen it, I will leave it in the description box, was her most popular ab challenge, which is I think in 2 weeks. I'm excited to try it. I am going to preface this intro by saying that while I'm doing this workout, I'm actually also going to be intermittent fasting. So for those who don't know what intermittent fasting is, it basically is just a change of your eating pattern. So I'm going to be eating any food from 11 to 7 p.m. every day and then fasting for the other 16 hours. So that being said, I am going to just get into the video. This is my week 1 check-in. I have a lot of thoughts, so I'm gonna pre-apologize for this check-in being really long, but let's just show you the abs. So here they are. I'm fully relaxed. I'm not like tucking anything in or anything. My results is mostly right here, like literally on both sides, which is the point of this ab exercise, is 11 abs. So that's good. I have noticed that the shadow is getting a little wider than what it was, so that means that it's working inwards as opposed to like just kind of straight down, if that makes sense. So basically the results are going towards my stomach as opposed to like just continually defining this line. However, when I turn around and show you my side, you can see that, you know, aside from the line, like, still got that stomach. I was watching a lot of videos about, you know, like how to best engage your core, and after watching a lot of videos, I've realized that I haven't necessarily been engaging my core as best as I could for some exercises, not just in this workout, but also for my previous Chloe Ting ab workout. So that being said, and that disclaimer being out there, I do want to reiterate, and I'm sure, and I know she does in her workout videos as well, but it is important to engage your core if you want the workout to work. I watched those videos this morning before I did day 7, so I'm doing my check-in now after I've done my workout, and I do feel like my core got more of a workout since I started engaging. It's a little bit more sore than it was, so that's good. I really want to stress that, you know, even though I'm filming these videos, it's not like I'm not working my core outside of doing that particular workout. I am feeling like, you know, there is definitely muscle developing back there, but I think it's like the initial layer of fat is just not burning up. And I haven't said it yet, but I'm not really dieting. I'm not limiting what I'm consuming. So again, I'm still eating carbs, which is probably why, like, you know, my stomach is still very much there. Okay, so let's talk about this ab exercise. So it is the same amount of time as her other ab exercise. However, it is not as many exercises because this set of exercises is you're doing a particular workout for 40 seconds as opposed to 20 to 30 seconds. There's less moves, but you have to do the moves longer. So for example, in the previous workout, there were hip dips, right, for your obliques. Those were 30 seconds, but in here, it's 40 seconds. So you're doing an extra 10 seconds of hip dips, which means you get an extra 10 seconds of the benefits of doing hip dips. It does make going through the exercise a lot easier, and it feels a lot quicker because there's less transitions happening. Like you're literally just stuck in a move for 40 seconds. And I realized that for me, a helpful way for me to go through the time quicker is I start counting my reps. So instead of just, you know, doing bicycle crunches and waiting for the timer to count down back down to 1, I count how many bicycle crunches I'm doing to kind of get my mind off of the time. Now, in terms of the exercises themselves, some of these are really hard, and here is where a little bit of my criticism is going to come in. So one of the exercises is Groaners. First of all, never heard of that exercise, never seen that exercise before in my life. I literally, the first time I saw it, I was like, what the hell is that? Like, how am I supposed to do it? And in that scenario and in other exercises as well, I'll list the ones I'm talking about right here because I don't remember them off the top of my head, but some of them I wish she would go into the form more, because again, a lot of these are ones that are not as common. Bicycle crunches, like, I'm pretty sure that's a universal workout that everyone knows how to do and knows what a correct form is, but groiners, like, I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know if I'm engaging my core properly. I don't know if, you know, my leg is going up as much as it should. Like, I don't know anything. And in her previous workout, ab workout video, that one was a little bit better because the camera went around her as she was doing exercises, so you could see from different angles what her form was, versus in this video I feel like there was less of that. It seemed like there was just two stationary cameras and it would just constantly be flipping in between, so I couldn't really see the particular angle of how she was doing the groiners, what her form was. It was just kind of confusing. I think it took about, you know, like 3-4 days before I could really figure out the form for myself, and even then I still don't know if I'm doing it right. So that kind of prevents me from knowing if I'm actually going to be able to get the results from this ab workout compared to her previous ab workout, when I'm able to tell what my correct form or incorrect form is. Another thing about this workout is it is hard. I know I said there's not as many exercises because you're doing them for longer, so, you know, there's less transition. All of that is true, but some of these workouts, and the ones I listed mainly, they really get your heart rate up, and it's almost like cardio as well as abs. So I feel like, you know, right now I've done it for a full 7 days. I still have to take pauses in between some of the workouts. So I know that this first week is not, you know, a very good marker of whether or not this exercise has actually benefited me at all. Again, I do see results physically, but in terms of like actually getting the most results out of it as I can, not sure. That is my 1 week check-in. I know this was really long, but there was a lot of information for me to cover. Hopefully next week it'll be a little shorter and I'll be able to share a little bit more concrete details in terms of how the workout is doing and how I'm doing with it. And obviously, hopefully the results will agree with what I'm saying. So this is my week 2 ab check-in. Let's just get right into the abs and I'll show you my measurements. Sorry, let me remove this. So here it is. So last week, I believe I said that I got to a point where some of the harder workouts, I was able to kind of just hold a plank position and not fall down, basically. That was a complete lie. Realized I was lying because the next day when I started doing the workout, there was a workout I completely forgot in the back of my mind because I hate it so much, and that is the twisting pistons. That exercise is so hard, and I still don't know if I'm doing it right. So the part about my previous check-in saying that like, oh, like there's not enough instruction and not enough angles for me to know if my form is right, that still stands. But the part where I was saying that like, oh, like all the workouts I'm starting to do them, you know, without falling down, that was a lie, because for the twisting pistons, that is so hard that by the like 30-second mark now, I basically have to take a break. I am getting closer and closer to not needing that break, which is good. And I think part of the reason why I do need a break is because I'm doing them pretty quickly. So it's probably having more of an effect on my heart rate and everything else. So I did want to update you on that. And then in terms of the rest of the workout, everything I said in last week's check-in still stands in the terms of like it's a lot easier than the 2-week shred challenge because there's less exercises, but even though you're doing them for longer. And then in terms of the workout itself, I am definitely seeing results. I have noticed that, you know, like the waist is getting a lot more like hourglass. And then in terms of like strength, there's definitely muscle back there. It's not going away anytime soon. This is my check-in. Hope it was helpful, and I will see you for week 3. Hello. So this is my week 3 check-in, which really just means day 21. Here is my stomach. From the front, there's a few things that I definitely want to point out. First of all, like that line is ridiculously there. Before it was, I think, a shadow like up to right here, like it was more of like a half line, but now, like, you know, you can see it's going like definitely extending all the way down to my pelvis. And then the other thing I have noticed is that the bone right here is becoming really prominent on both sides. And like if I turn around, you can see like that is my bone right there. And even if I turn to the side, you can see that line even more prominently. I think in terms of like, you know, my side view, like that lower belly is still very much there. I think, you know, intermittent fasting has kind of helped in the sense that it's preventing me from eating snacks late at night, which is really bad for bloating anyway. And then in terms of the exercise, so the first thing I will say is today, so day 21 is the first day I've been able to do the twisting pistons without stopping or without falling to my knees, which to me is a very big deal because I don't know why those twisting pistons are really, really hard for me. And I think the twisting pistons has a very, very big influence on that 11 because you're not just planking, you're also twisting your body in a certain direction to get to the left or the right. That being said, even though there's success in the twisting pistons, the groaners, I just don't get. In her video, she says like, oh, like, you know, it works the lower abs and like, you know, it really work your abs. And I'm like, I don't feel anything. So I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. I probably am if I'm not feeling anything. But in terms of the rest of the exercise, everything I said in the past is still the same. That is my week 3 check-in. Overall, I'm definitely seeing progress, so that's good. I was kind of getting worried at like late last week where I was like, oh crap, like is this not gonna work at all, and then I'm just wasting my time filming this and probably editing it and then posting it live. But I definitely see progress, so that's good. So here are my abs, or you know what, I'm gonna start calling them abs. It's really just a stomach. I know it looks like extra fat, but I think it's mostly because my new shorts are super tight, so that's why it looks like probably more flabby than usual. But here it is. And then on a side view, based on looks, nothing much has changed. Again, I still have like a deeper line on each side, which is great. And I think when I like really suck my stomach in, like you can really see more of a definition. But obviously this isn't realistic because wow, I'm having a hard time breathing already. My bone is definitely still showing up, and I'm getting like a line down here. I don't know if that's supposed to be normal or not, but I mean, it is what it is. And then again, like I definitely feel muscle back here, but it's still, there's still fat. So two things about exercise. So the groaners and twisting pistons. So in terms of groaners, I'm able to do more of them within the 40-second mark. In the past, I could only do like a couple every maybe 5 to 10 seconds. But I will say I still don't feel like I have the form correct. And I still don't feel it in my ab. And then in terms of the twisting pistons, I realize that I'm able to do them more evenly, and what I mean by that is I don't need to take like 2 breaks in between sets. I can just do them completely all through the 40-second mark. Elevate a little bit slowly, so it's not like I'm going super fast and doing like, you know, let's say 40 reps in 40 seconds. I might be doing like 30 reps in 40 seconds. That is my week 4 check-in. I have 1 more week to go before the 5 weeks / 35 days is up. So I'm just gonna skip straight to that check-in. This is my week 5 check-in, so day 35, and I feel exactly how I look right now. But here is my tummy. I did measure myself, obviously, but I really don't know how well that measurement is really showcasing my results because this particular pair of leggings that I have on are pretty tight, so obviously you can tell it's like kind of pushing all my fat up. So Again, not super helpful. In terms of my results, nothing really has changed that much from my last week. You can see based on the shadow that there is definitely more of a shape coming out, and you can even see right here that there's definitely a concave, which you could have seen in previous weeks as well, but I definitely see that this week it is way more defined. Obviously, it is not a dead set line. Like if I really am not trying and not like, if I'm really like pushing my stomach out, like you can't see much. But if I like, you know, do this, like suck in my stomach, you can see a little bit better, but in my natural state, like you can still see it. So yeah, that is my check-in. Okay, I am back with my outro and I've released my hair so I look a little bit more presentable. So like I said earlier, today is day 35, which means I am at the very end of this workout challenge, and I am ready to share some of my thoughts with you about the workout, about the process, about how I feel, etc., etc. The very first thing I want to chat about is the workout itself. I believe I mentioned in my earlier check-ins that some of the exercises were, one, a little bit difficult, and two, were most likely difficult because I felt like there wasn't a lot of instruction in terms of the movement itself. And I very much still stand by both of those statements, especially after having done the workout to this point and having done the challenge. Even today on day 35, I still don't feel like Groaners really did anything for me aside from get my heart rate up, which may be the point in itself, but I do believe in her video, since I've been watching it every day for the last 35 days, she said that it's supposed to work the abs. I don't feel it when I'm doing the workout, and I don't feel it after I do the workout, so I don't really know what's going on there. So that's definitely something that you should keep in mind. But it is only that workout that I don't really feel anything. Every other workout, I definitely feel that ache in my abs, which I take to mean, again, as a good sign. Something I know I forgot to mention in basically all my check-ins is one of the side plank, whatever she calls it, I'll leave it in the screen somewhere. Those I actually could not do the proper ways. My goal was to eventually work towards being able to do the full side plank version, but I just could not. Like, I would do it for maybe 10 seconds and then I would feel a really, really strong strain on really my thighs, because that's where most of my lower half body weight lives. So then I would have to revert back to the beginner's position. And that might actually be one of the potential reasons why my results were not as prominent as they should be. That being said though, that exercise, even the beginner's version, definitely did have an effect, and I definitely did feel it. I do really like that exercise because I think it does help you engage the abs better than some of the other exercises. Overall though, the workout itself was definitely great to kind of really engage your abs for a longer period of time, as opposed to start, stop kind of an ab exercise, which I realized that I sometimes prefer on certain days, and then I sometimes prefer this workout on other days. So throughout the last 35 days, I've had days where I'm really excited to do this ab workout because I know there's less exercises. I'm doing an exercise of movement for a longer period of time. But then there are other days when I want more variety in my routine and I want to kind of be doing a little bit more. So I don't know, the workout itself is great in terms of her abs workout itself. I think this is a great beginner's ab workout before you go straight to her most popular ab workout, which I believe has over 100 million views right now. That workout shows and achieves more and better results. So it really depends on where your comfort level is and what your exercise level is. Because I did that workout first and I was doing this after, I personally feel like I prefer the other one. But again, it kind of varies from day to day, so it's really hard today for me to say which one I prefer the most, because today I prefer that one, but tomorrow I might want to go back to the 11 abs thing. Either way, I'm not coming back to this ab workout. This is my personal opinion, but I just, you know, it was great while I was doing it and doing this challenge and filming it for you guys, but honestly, not, you know, my personal favorite. And then the very last thing I did want to say is whether or not I think 11 abs is a good goal to have. I like the way it looks on other people, but I realize that I don't particularly care for having that line, because that line I feel like doesn't tell me anything. I would way rather have like a 2-pack than a line, you know? I don't really think that I'm a huge fan of like a very specific ab type workout. I just feel like it's too specific and it kind of limits the range of motion you can have. I think maybe why I prefer her other ab workout, which is a lot more general and it's just abs in general. Like you're just feeling stronger in the abdomen area as opposed to trying to achieve 11 lines. So anyways, I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions about this workout or this process, let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you next Sunday for another video, and I will see you next month for another workout results video. Bye!